What's going on, guys? This is Evan here, and today kind of have a different sort of video for you guys. So many people in the world really are in this sort of issue with coronavirus 19 affecting virtually everything that's going on in the world, and it's mind-boggling to wrap around. So, and usually videos, or creating videos, is just one of my escapes, and it's such a great way for me personally to express myself to you guys, to really anyone, or to anything. I haven't done it for a while, I haven't really posted in a while, but I thought this video needed to be created for you guys, just so everyone can be aware of really what's going on. So, I'm a senior in high school. I am scheduled to graduate in 3 months. And this whole coronavirus pandemic really it was a roadblock to that. It was a roadblock on the way to graduation and the next journey in life. So, it started maybe last week. I get the message that our school is postponed for 2 weeks. So we weren't scheduled to come back until March 30th. Now before that, we had the announcement that spring sports in the state of Maine were postponed until April 27th, when they were supposed to start, at least for my school, March 30th. So already we have the postponement of sports, and then a few days after that, which was about a week ago now, we had the suspension of school, I should say, or the cancellation of school for 2 weeks until March 30th. And then this morning, I get an additional message that I am now out of school until April 27th. Now, there were some area schools that were doing the same thing. I didn't think it would happen to us, at least this soon, but instead of coming back March 30th, it is now April 27th. My prom is scheduled for May 2nd. So the day we get back to school, prom is 5 days after that. Now, a lot of you might be thinking, okay, I'm sure the school has set up Google Classroom accounts for every class and assigning homework, and you're right, they are. That is what's being done. And it's convenient, it's definitely easy to manage, but you're losing the in-class lesson and lectures that come along with that. And that is an essential part of learning. So by being out of school, it really hinders, personally, my learning. I can't speak for everyone, but that's just the way it goes. Yesterday, there was a scheduled day for everyone to just come to the school and pick up the stuff they need. This was before the April 27th announcement. It was still March 30th. It was this morning that they said that April 27th was the day that we're coming back. So it was postponed even longer starting today. Yesterday, nobody knew this. So yesterday, there was a day scheduled for everybody, really, to come back into the school and collect stuff they needed from their lockers, or if students don't have access to internet, the teachers had items outside of their classroom doors, like packets of work, but it was mainly just to get whatever you needed and be on your merry way. And going there that day, it felt very, very surreal. First off, you had custodians that worked at the school opening the handicap buttons for the doors, opening the doors for us so we wouldn't have to touch the doors. We had hand sanitizer right at the door for us to pump into our hands. It was just so surreal, is how I would put it. And you're walking through the halls, you see some people you know, it's not packed, you see some staff, I saw the principal, I saw everyone, really. And it was just crazy to think that that is now, most likely, like we didn't know this yesterday since it was still March 30th when we were coming back, it is most likely the last time I will ever walk down those halls and ever look at those classroom doors, open my locker, and never be in that school ever again. And it's not 100%. Like, sure, by April 27th, this could be cleared up and completely just eliminated. I'm not discounting the possibility of that happening. But it just seems so unlikely, especially where this coronavirus has been around since December, possibly even earlier, since China apparently did not make light of the issue until December, so it could have been around longer than that. And if you think December 1st was almost 4 months ago now, and graduation is 3 months away. It is now just getting started in America. It's a pessimistic point of mine, but I don't believe that things will get fully better come early May into mid-June for graduation. And I guess it's just something I've come to terms with and try to accept, but obviously it's very, very tough. And like I said, there's a chance that we could come back and everything could end normally, but I'm just trying to, I guess, cushion the blow just by accepting it at this point. The state of Maine as of today, which is March 20th, has 56 cases of coronavirus, and we only had our first case last Thursday on March 13th. And to think that it is multiplied that quickly in that amount of time it's just scary. And sure, the cases could have been in the state long before that, and more people are just getting tested now, and more positive cases are coming out, but it's scary how we had one case last week, and that's up to 56 today on March 20th. It's only going to get worse from here. And I've mentioned this before, I work at a supermarket, grocery store. It's not a chain, but it's relatively popular in my town. It's where everyone in the Tri-Town area goes to shop for groceries, and that's an even bigger risk. So I'm out of school until April 27th, so you'd think, oh, I just stay home, isolate myself, but I'm also going to work where I'm getting, a higher risk of catching the virus. And I've had, my mother especially has wanted me to just leave work, or not leave work, but give my hours up to people who actually need it, like the older people that work there, and say that it's not necessary for me to have the hours. I don't need the money right now. I'm an 18-year-old guy. I live with my parents. I don't have any priorities as of right now, so it sounds good on paper. I mean, I like to work, but she has a point. It also just gives me something to do in the meantime while I'm stuck in my house for nearly the length of a freaking summer vacation. So I don't know where that is going to go. In my county, there are 2 cases as of today, and that could obviously skyrocket within days. So as this plays out, I'm trying to figure out really what I'm going to do to keep myself safe. I personally don't have any underlying health conditions or anything like that. Neither do my parents, but my parents are kind of up there in age. So that is where I would take precautionary measures, I guess, to make sure that they do not catch the virus if I were to contract it from anybody at the grocery store, since it's been packed. There's always bread shortages, meat shortages, toilet paper. I've still never understood the toilet paper. And thankfully on weekends now, the first 2 hours of opening are dedicated to senior citizens and what they need. And it's it's not like a restriction to anyone else, it's just a suggestion. So you can hope that everyone follows that suggestion for the senior citizens to get their groceries. But the entire point I'm trying to make with this is that this pandemic is really just something else. It is something that we've never seen before. The reactions are something we've never seen before. The closings of schools and businesses and stores, it's crazy to think about. And I grew up during the swine flu epidemic, or pandemic I should say, in the 2009-2010. And there were a lot more deaths that resulted from that. But on the other side, there was more known about the flu virus and its many different strains. That was also very surreal. They had vaccines for the virus, and there was a time during that pandemic where our elementary school bused people to a local entertainment center, an auditorium, basically, where they vaccinated all of us. And they did it in one of the banquet halls there. It was crazy to think about how that happened. It was the Bangor Auditorium. That doesn't exist anymore. It's now the Cross Insurance Center. But at least for the kids in my school, I want to say it was everyone in the elementary school that wasn't already immunized, but I'm not quite sure about that. But that was also crazy. But you didn't see any businesses close. You didn't see any schools close down from that. And vaccines, while very, very important to the world, really aren't that effective, especially if it's flu, where it changes all the time. Flu vaccines are one of the lowest effective shots that you can get. So even with everyone getting these shots, there's still a chance that somebody can catch the virus. So that's what's strange to me, is that back in 2009-2010 with the flu pandemic of H1N1, there were hundreds of thousands of deaths around the world, but there was no media reaction to the virus itself. And there were no closings of schools, there were no closings of business that I'm aware of. I know my school didn't close. I can't account for the building. For the businesses and stuff, I was only, back then, 8 or 9 years old. So it was crazy, though. It was different then, and it was kind of a scary thing to think about, but it just didn't affect so much that the coronavirus is. So back to the point where I'm a senior in high school, and I'm supposed to be graduating in 3 months. Everybody around the country, even the world, is now in, I guess they have an anxiety state. They don't think that they're going to have their graduation ceremony, which for my school would be at the Cross Insurance Center, which is like I said before, it replaced the Bangor Auditorium, and it's like a 6,000, 7,000 person venue. And it's not like it would be completely filled. It would be just filled with the family of all the seniors, and that's probably not 7,000 people. But to have it in that building and just have that grand ceremony is just, it's something that we all are waiting for. And it's something that, it's just a milestone in your life. And the fact that now that is going to, I guess, belittle to a just getting your diploma in the mail, it's very frustrating to think about. We have prom, which is only seniors, and the only way you can go if you're not a senior is if your date is a senior, and that's personally not happened to me. So I was looking forward to prom, graduation, and track especially, because it's my final track season. It's just, this was the worst year for it to happen, at least to me personally. It couldn't have happened at any unopportune time than right now. And this, I guess this is kind of just a diary confession of just what I've been feeling and what's been going on lately. I'm out of school, and as of right now, until April 27th, as are now a lot of schools in the state of Maine. And I'm monitoring this coronavirus pandemic as much as I can, and I'm trying to stay safe out there. and just, I guess, keep living life the way I can, you know? Just, there's homework being assigned through the computer. I don't want to have to quit my job, but the way this is going, it seems like it might be an unsafe place to be in the coming weeks. So adjustments may have to be made. So we'll try to figure out how that all goes. But to anyone watching this that's a senior, you're not alone. There are thousands of us in this country that are feeling what you are feeling right now. Whether you're a senior in high school, a senior in college, if you're graduating from any sort of school, it's just an unfortunate time to be a senior. And who knows, though? This could blow over in 3 months' time, even before that. So it's not good to think negatively. It's just I'm thinking of all the options that could happen up until then. So I'm trying to stay hopeful, and hopefully everything turns out all right. But until then, we just gotta stay safe and do proper hygiene techniques to make sure that this virus doesn't spread, like the CDC has been recommending: social distancing, hand washing, don't touch your face, obvious stuff like that, and just make sure that you're being considerate when you're around other people, like grocery store workers, for example. I'm not trying to hype myself up here, but you don't want to be coughing or even up in the personal space of somebody that works in a store. There are plenty of stores that are closed in the state of Maine. Grocery stores are really the last to be closed, and I'm not quite sure if the government has any control over grocery stores closing, or if it's by the discretion of the owners, but there is no doubt that within the coming weeks, in the state of Maine, this will become a larger problem than what it is right now. The state of Washington has over 1,000 cases of coronavirus, and they were the first state for the virus to appear in. So it really can multiply quickly, and let's just hope we can all get through this. Most people are recovering. If you have any elderly people in your life, just try to prioritize them right now, make sure they stay safe. And grocery stores like the one I work at have rules, not rules, but they're guidelines that should be recommended to be followed. Are, the first 2 hours of opening on the weekends are dedicated to people 65 and older because of how this virus can affect them. And when people are hoarding bread, toilet paper, meat, whatever, they can't get to them. So I'm glad that there are grocery stores that are doing stuff like that, and hopefully once the weekend comes and the first 2 hours of the day are gone and through, senior citizens have what they need to, I guess, thrive through this pandemic. So I don't think there's really anything much else for me to say. So except everyone just stay safe out there. You gotta be careful. You gotta be very, very, I guess, careful. There's no other word to say except careful. You just need to be considerate of your health and obviously the others around you, and make sure that everyone's just being healthy out there. So those were just my feelings to put out there. And if anyone around, whether it's the community that is watching this, or if any one of my subscribers that lives anywhere around the world is listening to this, I hope this had an effect on you, especially if you're a senior in a school, because it's heartbreaking to think about what could really happen. But I gotta remember that it's the end of March. Anything can change in 3 months. We can only hope that it changes for the better and as soon as possible. So thanks for watching this, guys. My name is Evan, Only One Antidote. Please subscribe if you liked. Leave a comment, like the video, all that jazz. Thanks for listening to me speak. We'll see you in the next video.